This week, we have a new moon in the passionate water sign of Scorpio. All of that and more, plus an empowered moment in my new Intuitive Astrology Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, November 13th through Sunday, November 19th, 2023. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, here with my new weekly Empowered Moment video. So for this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Lantern Oracle deck, which is by Angelina Mirabito, PhD. So before we get into the astrology of the week or looking at our stones of choice, let's go ahead and do an empowered moment. So let's close our eyes, relax our bodies, clear our minds of all thoughts. Focus on your breath and focus on your breathing for just a moment. Breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Letting go of all tension of the day, the week, the month past. Focusing on relaxing your muscles and tendons. Relaxing every cell in your entire body. And visualizing golden white light all around you. And this is the golden white light of unconditional love, healing, and protection. And breathe that in deeply into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, imagine a grounding cord coming out of your root chakra, going down deep through the layers of Earth Mother Gaia, and connecting to her crystalline heart chakra in the center of the earth. And as you inhale, you're breathing in Earth Mother Gaia's nurturing, healing elixir of light, her grounding energy, breathing it up and in through the grounding cord, and exhaling it out throughout all of your energy bodies, up through all of your chakras, bringing a sense of balance and peace and centeredness to your entire being. And this week we're having a new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign, so it deals with the emotional realm, the intuitive realm. And new moons are about new beginnings. So here this week we have new beginnings in regards to how we're feeling, how we're sensing, how we're intuiting as we move forward on our path. New beginnings with what we're passionate about, since Scorpio is such a passionate sign. New beginnings to the emotional body and its proper functioning. So hold the intention that you have some deep and powerful new beginnings in your life within the situations and circumstances, within your emotional body and how you express your emotional nature. And even new beginnings within money and finances, as Scorpio also rules this realm. So call in your angels and guides and healers of the highest vibration of light to set the most positive intention as we move into this new cycle of energy on this new moon in Scorpio. Let's take in a deep breath. And as you exhale and in your own time, you can open your eyes, return to this time and place and space, and get ready to look at your stones of choice for that special message a little bit later. So I guess I felt like I was in a red mood, right? I've got the color red on today, and Scorpio, although I guess it's maybe not the first color you think of when you think of Scorpio, right? I usually think of the color black, or what is that? Is that all the colors together is black? But to me, because of that passionate, driving force of energy, I feel like Scorpio can be associated with this color red too. That, to me, I think of passion when I think of red. So anyway, our stones of choice are all a color of red. So the first stone of choice, the first pendant of choice, because these are special intention pendants, is this beautiful red coral. Actually, that's what I'm wearing today as well, red coral. And so this is wrapped in silver wire, and it's Reiki charged with the vibration of the number 1, the number of leadership and individuality and new beginnings. The energy of the planet Mars, planet of energy, action, willpower, and motivation. The activation of the root chakra, which often, right, we see it as the color red. That's the color for the root chakra. And with this activation of the root chakra, we have healthy physical vitality and manifestation abilities. And the energy of Archangel Michael is infused into this one, the Archangel of Assisting One on the next step of your highest and most important destiny path. All right, and then stone number 2. This doesn't look quite as red as the red coral, but it is in fact known as red aragonite. And the red aragonite is wrapped in gold wire, Reiki charged with the vibration of the number 1, number of confidence, motivation, and willpower, but also the number 4, the number of being grounded, good in business, which Scorpios are often very good in business, and manifestation. The qualities of Capricorn, sign of having good energetic boundaries, and the ability to steadily move towards one's goals. The element of Earth for practicality, logic, and focus. And this one also has Archangel Michael's energy infused into it, the Archangel of protection, and who provides assistance in removing blocks to our life purpose. All right, and then the last stone of choice. I pulled out my special root chakra crystal here, and this one is a ruby aura quartz. And the ruby aura quartz is wrapped in silver wire and Reiki charged with the vibration of the number 1. So they all have that in common this week. The number 1, number of physical vitality and passion. The energies of Chiron, the wounded healer, is infused into this one to heal past life abuse and traumas. And planet Neptune, activating the wisdom of the heart. The activation and balancing of the root chakra for feelings of safety, security, and stability. And the heart chakra for compassion and healing. The energies of Archangel Raphael to heal the physical and emotional body, and Archangel Michael again for protection, confidence, and courage on one's path forward. So again, your stones of choice for this week are the red coral, the red aragonite, and the ruby aura quartz. And all of these, by the way, and many, many more, you can find them on my website under Sacred Soul Empowerment Special Intention Pendants. So let's talk about the energies astrologically for the week. We start out actually on Monday the 13th. First of all, this is the week of the 13th through the 19th. And the first thing that struck me is that the number 13 is a karmic number in numerology. And the number 19 is also a karmic number in numerology. And there's only 4 karmic numbers that we pay attention to, or that actually are known in numerology. So the number 13 is a karmic number. Again, that's Monday, the 13th. But the 13 is about death and rebirth and transformation and regeneration. There's a lot of inner shifting going on, just like with the sign of Scorpio, which, we're still in for this week for the most part, is we have a lot of Scorpio energy going on. And that is all about death and rebirth and transformation and regeneration. And then karmic number 19, which is Sunday the 19th, where we end the week. The number 19 being a karmic number is about endings and new beginnings, because, of course, the number 1 of the 19 is the first of the single digit numbers. So that's about new beginnings or initiation into something new. The number 9 is the last of the single digits. So this is about endings, completion, healing, releasing, getting ready to close out a chapter of life and move into something new. That karmic number 19 is also about learning to stand on your own 2 feet again, like being confident and self-assured and independent and connected to your individuality. But also at the same time, you're also asked to focus on knowing that you're not in this alone, that you're part of a group mentality, that you can ask other people for assistance or help or support. So it's kind of this weird, balance of self versus others and how we kind of fit into both of those with karmic number 19. So now we start out on Monday the 13th, astrologically speaking, with the new moon at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So Scorpio is that water sign. It deals with the emotional body, the emotional realm, deep feelings, subconscious patterns that are within the psyche, within our psychological makeup. Then the sign of Scorpio is very passionate, very driven, very fixed. As we said before, they're good in business. And that new moon is actually connecting to quite a few planets. So as it's approaching, the new moon at 20 degrees Scorpio is going to connect by what's called an inconjunct aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer, the planet or planetoid, if you will, that rules past life karmic wounds, this wound that never seems to heal. And that is just before the new moon becomes exact. So it's kind of in that dark of the moon phase, right before the sun and the moon come together at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So it's really might bring up some of those old psychological subconscious wounds, whatever your specific wounds are that we're talking about. And then right after that, sun and moon come together at 20 degrees Scorpio, the new moon will connect to Uranus and then Mars and then Neptune. So Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. So we're awakening to something higher, something new, something better, something future oriented. And then it connects to Mars, and Mars is in Scorpio as well. And Mars is that planet of energy and action and forward movement. It activates things. And so Mars in Scorpio is really going to activate this new moon in Scorpio energy and whatever it might mean to you. You want to look at where it's falling in your chart, what house of the zodiac is being kind of activated with this Scorpio energy. And then the new moon is going to connect by a positive, what's called a trine aspect to Neptune. And Neptune is the planet of the spiritual realm, the intangible, the unseen, but also magic and miracles, as well as illusion and confusion. But it's a positive connection. So I feel like it's a mixed bag of tricks. When I was first looking at and feeling into the new moon in Scorpio, I heard mixed bag of tricks. And so I feel like there's a little bit of real positive magical energies that are happening here and being activated. And then there's, again, this kind of clearing, purging kind of energy, which Scorpio is known for, kind of releasing, purging, and transmuting old energies and trauma energies. So I feel like some of that is involved as well. Also on the same day, of course, the sun will exactly oppose Uranus. Since the new moon is opposing Uranus, that means the sun itself is going to oppose Uranus. And whenever we have oppositions, it usually brings in relationship dynamics, right? We've got one planet over here and the other planet is opposite over here. So it's like two people talking to one another. In this case, it's two planets talking to one another. And that Scorpio energy where the sun is, and then the Taurus energy where Uranus is. It rules values and it rules personal resources like money and finances. And it also rules how we value ourselves. And so that also might be part of this activation energy of the new moon. On Wednesday, the 15th, we have a couple of what's called inconjunct aspects. One of them is with Mercury, the planet of the mental realm, in Sagittarius, which is more optimistic and expansive and creative, in its own sense. It's got a fiery passion to it as well. And it's going to be in conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. And Jupiter rules our belief systems. Jupiter also rules expansion. Jupiter rules higher learning, higher wisdom, and knowledge. And I'm going to also bring up what the second aspect is, and then we're going to talk about them, because the other inconjunct is between Venus, the planet of love and relationships, and Libra, which is the partnership sign, and it's in conjunct Jupiter as well. So again, both of these planets, Mercury and Venus, are in this weird inconjunct Jupiter in Taurus. And Taurus is more cautious, and Taurus is usually more practical and grounded. But it's about our belief systems. And with an inconjunct, we have to make some sort of adjustments. And so we're having to adjust how we see something, perceive something. We're needing to adjust how we are communicating with other people. That's all with the Mercury influence. And then we're needing to adjust something within our relationships, our partnerships, our sense of equality, balance, compromise, because that's Venus and Libra. So again, it sounds like it's heavily about relationship matters, right? Mercury, communication with other people. Venus and Libra is all about partnerships anyway. So what are your belief systems? How can we shift our belief systems in such a way to look at something differently, perceive a situation differently, connect with, communicate with, kind of move with the energy within our friendships and our significant others and our family kind of relationships. And again, there might be something going on with money matters since Jupiter is in the money sign of Taurus. So that's, something to also pay attention to. And then on Friday the 17th is where we have the rest of the astrological connections for the week. Friday the 17th, we have Mars in Scorpio, and it's in a trine to Neptune in Pisces. The sun in Scorpio is also trine Neptune in Pisces. And then the sun comes together with Mars in Scorpio. So, that's kind of a mouthful. But basically, the sun, the planet that rules our self-expression and our individuality, our personality, is in the deep, perceptive, intuitive, emotionally connected sign of Scorpio. Mars, energy, action, forward movement. Mars is the warrior planet. He's in Scorpio. And then they're both connecting to Neptune, which rules the spiritual realm, rules, again, things that are intangible, things that you can't touch, things that you can't see, where you just have to have faith and trust. And that's why we call it also the planet that rules kind of magic and miracles. And, because when we have faith, miracles happen, right? Neptune can be elusive and confusing and dissipating, but this is a positive aspect between these three planets. So we're going to feel this as early as Thursday, just to let you all know. So Thursday and Friday, just know that passionate energy with the sun and Scorpio. The sun is highlighting Scorpio's energy. The sun is highlighting Mars and Scorpio's energy. So I feel like we're going to be very perceptive, because Scorpio is a very perceptive sign. It's a deep sign. It's a passionate sign. It's a sign that rules the mysteries of the universe, things that are, not understood by our logical ego mind, but where we have to go deep within the realms of the subconscious and you know, filter out our shadow, you know, because Scorpio rules that shadow side. But I feel like we're doing this in a positive way, and it's easier maybe than it has been in the last 2-3 weeks, because that connection to Neptune is a positive one. So Neptune's going to help bring in this more spiritual and angelic energy in a sense. So we're able to look at the shadow, and we're able to love the shadow, and then maybe transcend the shadow, because Neptune is about transcendence. So that's a great way to end the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. So the first card came out as 2 cards. Let's look at the first of the 2 cards. So turning that over. Okay, we have Major Arcana 13. In this deck, it's called Peace, which is really nice, because in the traditional tarot, this is known as the Death card. And the Death card, interestingly enough, there's that 13 that we talked about, right? 13, the numerology karmic number that rules death and rebirth and transformation and change. Well, again, the Death card is about that. This is ruled by Archangel Azrael, and Archangel Azrael is the archangel that helps people cross over when they're getting ready to transition and cross over, and whether that be a human being or our pets, you know, other animals, she helps those souls, so to speak, move on from one realm of existence to the other. But Archangel Azrael also helps those that are still on the earth plane with the grieving process. Now, whether that's grieving a pet or a loved one that's crossing over, or whether that's grieving circumstances and situations that you no longer need to hold on to. And this whole Scorpio season, every year at this time when we're in Scorpio season, is kind of about that death and rebirth and grieving of old situations and circumstances that are not valid for us anymore, that we no longer need to hold on to. And of course, as I said, we have a new moon in Scorpio. So the moon, we start out the week with the moon in Scorpio, the sun's in Scorpio, and we still have Mars in Scorpio as well. Now the message at the bottom says to release the past, and it says there is a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. So it has this aspect of surrender to it. When we go through a death and rebirth, when we go through an inner transformation, which is what the Death card and what the karmic number 13 is all about, we want to surrender to that process. We don't want to fight that process, because it'll be made a little bit more challenging for us if we try to fight it. So instead, we should surrender to it and allow it to kind of happen, and know that your angels and guides are here to assist you through that process. Focus on the idea of peace, which is what this card says, right? Let's focus on having peace and being peace as we're moving through a transformation. Now let's go ahead and see what card came out with this one for additional information. And we've got the Ace of Raphael. This is perfect for a new moon in the water sign of Scorpio. The sign of Raphael in this tarot deck is the water realm. It's the realm of cups or water in the traditional tarot. The ace is about a new beginning, right? And we do have a new moon that starts out this week. So we have a new beginning on an emotional level, a new beginning to our healing process, which is again what cups is all about. It says at the bottom, a positive new emotional experience. So we're moving into an initiation into this new beginning of an emotional experience, or let's say a new beginning with how we feel, a new beginning with how we express our emotions, a new beginning in emotional connections with others, a new beginning to the healing of our emotional body. All of these things would be part of this Ace of Raphael. And then it goes on to say fulfilling romantic relationships and deep and lasting spiritual insights. That's another great thing with Scorpio, is we have deep insights, penetrating insights, healing insights. And that's exactly what this card is all about. So perfect way to start out the week here with the Death card, or the Peace card, if it were, as it were, and the Ace of Raphael to initiate us into this lunation, this new moon in Scorpio, as it were. Okay, love that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next card. The next card is the King of Michael. This is like the King of Swords in the traditional tarot. At the top it says principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. So if the King of Michael or the King of Swords is an actual person, reflecting either a person in your life this week, or if it's reflecting qualities within you and you're the King of Swords, you're the King of Michael, then the qualities of, again, the principled, rational, ambitious, and respected come into play here. The king is the ruler of its realm, right? The king is the most mature of the court cards. And here it's mature and practical and leadership oriented in the suit of swords, which is about thoughts and perceptions and new ideas and communication. At the bottom it says wisdom and objectivity are important now. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. It says, stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for open and honest communication. That could be that Mercury connecting with Jupiter on Wednesday, Venus in the partnership sign of Libra connecting with Jupiter on Wednesday. Again, Jupiter kind of rules that higher perception, that higher way of seeing things, a more spiritual way of seeing things. So we want to stay in our integrity and we want to have open and honest communication. That's what Jupiter is going to call for, okay? And then let's look at the last card here. The last card of the week, another major arcana, Major Arcana 2, the High Priestess. I love this. This is with Archangel Haniel. And Archangel Haniel is known as the archangel that helps us with our intuitive abilities and our healing abilities to kind of connect with all of those. Of course, the High Priestess is, this priestess energy that is great with seeing the future or using kind of her magical abilities to kind of, stir up that creation energy, if you will, that magical creation energy. The message at the bottom says powerful psychic insights. And so we have that going on again. Where was that other one? It was right here with the Ace of Raphael, right? The Ace of Raphael said deep and lasting spiritual insights. Now we have the Priestess saying powerful psychic insights. Again, Scorpio is about deep, penetrating, powerful psychic insights. So this is exactly what we're needing to kind of tune in. To me, this is like meditation, self-reflection, having some quiet time, some alone time, doing some ritual, doing some ceremony. So definitely for the new moon, light a candle, set an intention, do some sort of ceremony work. Maybe you want have crystals and essential oils, sage, Palo Santo, and create some sort of powerful ceremony here. Maybe pull a couple cards for yourself. If you have any tarot cards or divination cards, that would be a great thing to do to receive some powerful psychic insights. And the message goes on to say reflection and meditation, which I already just mentioned, that provides valuable information. And again, if we're pulling cards for ourselves, it can provide us with valuable insights, valuable guidance, valuable information. Know that that's a way to connect with your higher soul self. It's a way to connect with your angels and guides and say, what do I need to know? Show me what I need to know. Give me the guidance that is in my highest and best interest. And then the last thing says, be at peace. So again, we've got the peace card here, known as the death card in the traditional tarot, but it says peace. And then this one, the High Priestess, ends by saying, be at peace. So we definitely want peace to be our mantra this week as we move throughout the week and into the next couple of weeks before we get to the next full moon as well, right? All right, let's go ahead and see what your special message is depending on your stone of choice. So let's all take a deep breath and center and focus on what is in your highest and best interest to know. And the first stone was the red coral. So red coral people, special message for the red coral people. This one's calling my attention, and it is, oh, I love it. This is the picture on the front of the box right here, okay? And this one says strength of vulnerability, right? To allow yourself to be vulnerable, right, is actually a strength. Instead of pretending all the time, wearing a mask, putting on this kind of mask that you're confident and courageous and everything's wonderful and everything's fine all the time, to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to feel the feelings, the scorpionic feelings that are coming up. Maybe there's fear coming up, maybe there's anxiety, maybe there's doubt. And that's okay. They're feelings, right? And to allow yourself to feel those feelings and even express them maybe to those people that are there to support you, that that are, the best of a friend or family member that is truly on your side. To allow yourself to be vulnerable is a strength. So don't feel like it's a weakness. And it says at the bottom here, it says true power lies at the foot. I know I'm reading this kind of robotically here. True power lies at the root. Oh my goodness. And I should have brought my glasses because these words are very tiny. Okay. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. I got it. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. So basically, it's a faulty perception to think that you're weak or incapable or not able, too old, to whatever, right? All of these things are faulty perceptions. So allow yourself to be vulnerable and to, again, feel where maybe, I don't know of a better word, but lacking is not the right, word that we want to use, because we're not really lacking. But when we feel like we need a little bit more practice with something, we're not educated in something, that's not our best kind of foot forward, like a lot of us, let's say we know a lot about technology, and I'm not one of those people, but we know a lot about technology, but maybe we're not as good at expressing our emotions. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you're really good at communication and expressing how you truly feel, but you're terrible at technology. But again, it doesn't mean that you're lacking or less than or incapable or anything like that. You're just, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And in that, and in speaking your truth, there is a strength to all of that. Love that she's got the red color going on too, right? Because it does talk about true power lying at the root of, and the red color here is the root chakra. And the root chakra is about safety and security and stability and feeling grounded in yourself, grounded in your true self, grounded in your truth. So there's something about focusing on the healing of the root chakra energy this week for you all. Let's put that back in case somebody else gets it. And the second stone of choice was the red aragonite. So let's give this a little shuffle. And the special message this week for the red aragonite people. Red aragonite people. Nothing's jumping out at me, so I'm going to shuffle another couple times here. Red aragonite. Okay, this one on top is called No Way. I got the same one. Red aragonite people. Okay, so same message. I don't need to repeat it in any certain way. If you missed it, go back and watch for the red coral people. And again, that root chakra red kind of stands out here, right? She also looks like she's a little bit of a warrior too, right? I always think of, again, Mars the warrior. And Mars is known as the red planet, right? So here again, we have this Mars the warrior, red planet, red root chakra, safety, security, stability. And Mars is the warrior because he's going after that safety, security, and stability. So along with everything I said for the red coral people and also the red coral people, you can also pay attention to that last little bit for the red aragonite people. Can't believe that card came up again. Probably not going to come up a third time, but wouldn't that be interesting? I know that has happened before. So let's give this a little shuffle, and now we're at the ruby aura quartz. Ruby Aura Quartz people, special message. Special message for the Ruby Aura Quartz people. This one calling my attention right in the middle here. Not the same one. And it says, I've never got this card before. It's called Weeping Wound. Weeping Wound. I have a flash of going back to that new moon, connecting to Chiron, the wounded healer. So this wound, it's like a wound that never heals, right? The weeping wound. So it definitely feels like it has something to do with this new moon in Scorpio connecting with Chiron. And it says at the bottom, you are not your wounds. Well, that's a simple message, right? The weeping wound, you are not your wounds. Okay, so whatever past life wounds, emotions, feelings, thoughts, perceptions, patterns that are coming up over and over and over again, you're not those wounds. Now, some of the wounds you might feel are from this lifetime as well. Certain situations that kind of repeat themselves, maybe in a relationship, maybe in a work environment, maybe with financial or business, whatever the wound is about, again, feeling maybe that you're not able to reach that level of success that you want, or maybe there's a poverty consciousness wound going on with abundance and prosperity, and you never seem to be able to get past a certain point financially. Maybe it's, again, drawing in similar relationships over and over and over again. Those could be of a romantic nature or job nature as well, that you just keep coming back to the same kind of situation. And if those things are happening, look at how you're either reacting to these situations as they come up again and again and again, and shift how you're reacting, or look at how you feel about yourself or how you perceive yourself and shift that as well. Remember, the middle of the week, we've got the Mercury and the Venus that are in conjunct Jupiter, and Jupiter is about your perceptions and your belief systems. We need to make some sort of adjustment here. And when we make the adjustment with how we think or how we feel or how we perceive or how we communicate with ourselves or others, or, what we think about ourselves, how we value ourselves, then we're going to be able to heal this weeping wound. We're going to be able to get past and heal this. Now, this wound in this picture does happen to be over the heart chakra. So maybe you're feeling like you're not lovable enough, not good enough, not worthy enough. She's also crying a blood tear here. Again, we've got the red here. So let's go back to the root chakra. Whatever's going on with your emotions and your feelings, do you feel stable within yourself? Do you feel secure within yourself? Do you feel rooted within yourself? Let's go back, and there's even red around here. Now, not all these cards have red in it. For instance, here's a card from this deck, no red. So that red and that root chakra definitely are something that's coming up over and over and over again. So very interesting that I was drawn to, picking all those red stones today. But know that it's like your soul signed up to learn something by choosing this wound, but it doesn't mean you have to keep the wound for your whole entire lifetime in this lifetime. Does that make sense? It's like you chose it so that you could move through something, heal something, have that aha moment, that epiphany about yourself or your life, but you can also heal the wound and not allow it to affect you from here on out and going forward. So go back down to that root chakra and find your inner stability, your inner security within yourself. Value yourself, love yourself. And that's where we're going to be able to heal those wounds. So I hope you've all enjoyed this weekly reading. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings till we meet again. Namaste.